Just 4 months ago, lion handler Dimitri Price spoke to me about his lucky escape after a mauling by a tiger at the Zion Wildlife Garden. Now, at the time, and still an employee of the park, he played down the incident, kept quiet, at least publicly, about some real concerns he had. Tonight, though, after the fatal mauling of colleague Dalu Mncube, he's speaking out, breaking a code of silence over his concerns about the park. Now, Dimitri joins me via telephone from Australia, where he's now living. Dimitri, were you surprised at this tragic news today?
I felt sad and burdened with the news, but not surprised, unfortunately.
You had concerns, didn't you, when you left the park?
As did just about everybody else there. I wasn't the only one concerned with what was going on. It was actually a group think that there was a lot of things wrong with some big decisions that were being made there.
What sort of things, Dimitri?
Specifically, management issues. There's, as I'm pretty sure most people are aware, there's a big story going on with Craig and his mother. She's actually currently running the park. She knows extraordinarily little about animals in general, and has done a really good job of making that place, quite dangerous for not just the employees there. It's been up to the handling staff to try and advise her what needs to be done. Unfortunately, a lot of things that were needed to be done weren't being done. We were making the place safe for the people who were coming to visit the cats. That was something that was without question. It was reviewed by MAF, and it was kept on tap, kept checked of by our operator, as well as us as individuals doing what we were doing. But there was many other aspects of what was going on there that were being ignored.
Look, few of us or few people in this country have the experience that you've had in dealing with these big cats. In terms of the safety precautions, when you left, did you have concerns about those?
My final words as I left was that I'm leaving because of those safety issues. It was no longer. I was no longer willing to take the risk that was involved to work there, not because of the animals that are there, because given the right tools, the right training, and the right understanding, and the right people, you can have a great success with such animals. There is nothing but potential that exists there at Zion. I really hope that this incident is not going to demonise these animals. What this needs to be is a glaring example of what poor decision-making can actually bring about.
Dimitri, you know what sort of reaction some of your comments will get. People will say, oh, look, you left, you were disgruntled, you got a bone to pick with the park.
Well, that's unfortunately not the case, or fortunately not the case. It's not that I've got a bone to pick with the park. The reason I came to the park was the animals. Nothing else, just the animals. The animals are what drive me in my life. Now, those animals specifically, cats, are where I've spent the majority of my mind and my time. I've been into this very deeply in a number of places around the world, and I was hoping to make New Zealand a future. Now, what happened with the park is unfortunate, not because of what happened with the animals, but what happened with the people. I don't have a bone to pick with the park, and it's not about that at all. What it is, it's the type of person and the type of decision-making necessary to deal with apex predators is somebody who can have a balanced, non-emotional understanding of the situation and make a decision based on the merit of what's being said. Now, it's really disappointing that that's not what was going on, and many industry-standard techniques and tools that animal trainers use worldwide were basically rejected and shunned. Essentially, what has happened was somebody who wasn't given the understanding, who wasn't given the training to understand what they were doing, was in a position to make decisions on things, and was pushed to make certain decisions on things by somebody who knows nothing about these animals. Now, this is where the crux of this problem lies, is that somebody without understanding, who for the wrong reasons has control of the place, was making calls that they just should not have been making. I myself personally was injured, quite nastily, by one of the animals there, and at that point I thought, after that, maybe some of the things that I was stressing that I was really passionately going for may be listened to. I actually was met with a will you please leave the premises as I came back to the country.
Dimitri, of course, Dalu was there when you were injured. He was instrumental in saving you.
That Dalu was the one who actually fired the extinguisher on the cat and got the tiger off me. He was there throughout that incident. We've talked about this at length about what happened there, and we actually came to a consensus between the pair of us that what happened there and the way we handled that situation, we were both happy with. Dalu had a great ability with animals. He was a very, very unique man in a number of different ways. It's unfortunate, but like I say, it's not surprising that it's come to his death. He knew, and he was fighting for something. He was actually going towards a direction that was going to bring the park out of this dark hour. It's now threatening to consume everything. This incident will probably be used to start a scare campaign to bring legislation into place that's going to make this kind of thing impossible. Now, this is, to use a Prime Minister's phrase, a knee-jerk reaction to something that people just don't know anything about. I think people would be very well advised to listen to people like Craig Busch and myself, who actually have experience with these animals outside of one place. One of the big problems there is people had very focused experience. It was within one place and within one set of rules. They hadn't actually gone out and seen other things. Craig Busch has been around the world working with many animal people and has seen many different techniques.
Dimitri, obviously there's still a lot to be told in terms of the story. We appreciate your time tonight and we appreciate you speaking out so frankly, and of course our condolences at the loss of your former colleague as well. That's Dimitri Price, the former keeper, speaking to us live from Australia. Now look, just a few minutes ago, shortly before the show, I dived into another studio to speak with Glenn Holland, the current manager of Zion Wildlife Gardens. Now, he wanted to pay his own tribute to Dalu.
Oh, Mark, Dalu's a fantastic guy. I've only been involved with the park here for about 7 or 8 months and very quickly became a really good friend. He was the lifeblood of the park, to be honest, kept everybody happy, bouncy, and he was fantastic with the animals and the cats. He was just great for us to be with, and he had a real way with the cats as well.
And he was very experienced with these animals, Glenn.
Very, extremely experienced. One of the best I've ever seen. And he definitely, you either have it or you don't, and he definitely did.
How has this impacted on you and his colleagues working there?
Staff are absolutely devastated. I mean, as I say, we've lost a colleague, we've lost a friend. He's going to be really sorely missed.
Look, I know you're in shock. Everyone is in shock there. People are tonight asking questions how it could happen.
To be honest, I wasn't here when it happened. The staff members who were with Dalu, and he wasn't alone, have told me bits and pieces of what happened. There's a full investigation taking place with MAF, the police, OSH, Department of Labour. I don't have the whole story. I have bits and pieces of it, and until I've got the whole story, I'd rather hang on to the little that I know. Sure,
look, that's fair enough, Glenn, but you're a professional. You take this seriously. You take the precautions seriously. This came as a total surprise to you?
It did.
The park will fully cooperate with all and any inquiry, Glenn?
Absolutely. There's nothing to hide here at all. But, Mark, I would like to say a few words to Dalu, if I could.
Sure.
And really just to say, go well. Great friend, sorely missed. And, yeah. I think in Zulu there's a saying, Hambagatli Mvoit, go well, my brother. And